I grew up in semi-rural Kentucky in a little town called Somerset. I had fairly good schools. My mother was a teacher, so it really broke her heart that I was a terrible student. They tried, and it was nothing that they could do to instill in me this love for school and love for learning that I just didn't have at that point. And so the beginning of what should have been my senior year, I started as a sophomore. And I went to my mother and I said, Mom, I hate school. I'm never gonna like it. You can either sign for me to drop out, or I'm just not gonna do anything until I'm 18, and then I'm gonna drop out on my own. It would have been a terrible mistake. It would have been the worst mistake I ever made to do that, because I wouldn't be where I am now if I didn't at least have a high school education.
When I was 9 years old, my father passed away. We went to go get our Easter outfits for church, and we went to McDonald's to eat. On our way home, he had a heart attack in the car. I don't remember much after that. My brother was 6 years old. My mom had a really hard time. That was the love of her life, and he was gone. A lot of the times, I felt like I was blamed for him being gone, but I did my best to pick up her pieces and do what I needed to do to support her and to take care of my brother. I remember several of, my teachers and how well supportive they were. Having a teacher to be there for you, no matter what your circumstances are. As a child, you kind of brace that because you feel that's all you have.
I went to a technical school, but it just didn't work out for me, and school wasn't right for me at that point in my life at 18 years old. So 8 or 9 years ago, I got an opportunity with a local company here in the same industry that I'm in, and I was getting these calls from headhunters and recruiters, and they wanted me to come on with them, but they wanted a degree. They kept saying, do you have a degree? And I would say no. And they'd say, well, we really need you to have that. And so I have this wonderful woman in my life that encourages everything that I do. And she looked at me and she said, Jeremy, just go back to school. And so luckily, at her prompting, here I am at Rowan-Cabarrus.
So after COVID struck, the uncertainty of sending my kindergartner and my 5th grader to school was frightening for both my husband and I. So we decided to do virtual homeschool with both of them. And the love for teaching after doing the virtual homeschool grew. And I knew that that's where I really wanted to be. So I started researching and I found Rowan-Cabarrus. And then I learned that the degree that I wanted to obtain, I could do 100% online. And with working and having a large family, to do college virtually meant that I could succeed at both working and going to college.
When I first came here, I was going to be an online asynchronous student. I'm not a traditional student. And I got offered to come on with Phi Beta Lambda at the time. It's Future Business Leaders of America, collegiate now. I found an opportunity there, and it grew in ways, being a student ambassador, being in Phi Theta Kappa, the Honor Society, just doing things for my school. I found a way to serve my students, my campus, and my community.
Jeremy, he really did want to come in and fly under the radar, and he was surprised at the opportunities that presented themselves when he just stood up and do what comes naturally for him, which is he wants to grow and support other people. He wants to give back and leave the world better than when he found it.
In October last year, my stepdad had passed away. I was unsure if I would be able to come back to college this semester. I had asked if there was any funding or anything that could help me get enrolled into the spring semester. And that's where this emergency scholarship came into place.
Receiving an emergency scholarship from Rowan-Cabarrus Community College Foundation means more than a lot of people realize. The sacrifice that students make to enroll in college is really about the time commitment, the relational commitment with their families. Sometimes they're taking less hours at work trying to fit in college, all for a short while toward a longer-term goal.
I don't qualify for a lot of needs-based scholarships and needs-based grants that some students do. And it was a way for me to help supplement and pay for my own education, because if you can't pay for it, likely you're not going to continue to pursue it. And if I couldn't pay for it for one semester, the likelihood of me returning for another semester after that or after that is much lower.
So I was a non-traditional student when I came back to the college, which meant I was in my late 30s, and I had dropped out of my first semester of college when I was 18. Being able to get a foundational scholarship assisted me with responsibilities beyond the classroom. I faced a lot of challenges when I was a student and came back to school, many that nobody could actually see. I knew that when I got to a place in life that I was able to support other people, that I wanted to do that. And because of that, my siblings and I came together to create what will be an endowed scholarship in my parents' name to help provide the same kind of support that effectively helped me change my life.
Everything that I went through growing up, I went through that for a reason, because I was led up to this point to be here for all these children and to let them know, hey, I understand.
The community college is one of the community's best assets. Not only do we provide an affordable education, we provide opportunities that close gaps. Education is the best investment for anyone. The return on your investment is more than dollars. It is what makes a difference in the lives of our students, in the lives of their families, and ultimately to make our community better.